Build a table with multiple legs. Brief note: as we discussed in video 0, your family's situation shapes how you apply these principles. The core idea today matters for every family, but implementation depends on your specific reality. Here's the principle. Your child needs to develop a sense of self that includes, but isn't limited to, their athletic identity. Think of it like a table. If the table has only one leg, sports, it's unstable. When that leg weakens or breaks, everything crashes. But if the table has multiple strong legs, sports, academics, friendships, creative interests, family relationships, it remains stable even when one leg is compromised. Why does this matter at this foundation stage? Research on athlete identity shows children who over-identify with their sport at young ages face higher rates of burnout and early dropout, anxiety and depression tied to performance, difficulty recovering from injury or setbacks, struggles when sports inevitably end. Conversely, children with broader identities show more resilience through challenges, maintain better mental health, actually perform better, less anxiety, transition more smoothly when sports careers end. Building identity beyond sports isn't just good for well-being, it actually serves their athletic development too. Here's what goes wrong. When a child's entire identity revolves around being the soccer player, their worth becomes tied to performance. Every game becomes a referendum on their value. Every mistake threatens their sense of self. That's crushing pressure for a young person. Often, parents inadvertently narrow their child's identity by making sports the dominant focus of family life, the primary topic of conversation, the main source of praise and attention. We don't mean to do this. We're invested in their development. We're proud of their achievements. But if most of our engagement centers on their sport, we're sending a message. This is what I value most about you. How your family situation affects this. Co-parenting? Maybe one parent makes everything about sports while the other provides balance. If you're the balance provider, lean into that role. Value and celebrate the non-sport parts of their life. Multiple kids? This can actually help. They see siblings valued for different things, which reinforces that worth isn't determined by any single activity. Time constrained? You don't need lots of extra activities. Meaningful conversations about non-sport topics, family time that isn't centered on athletics, attention to their academic or social lives, these build other legs for the table. Resources limited? Building broad identity doesn't require expensive programs. Reading, family games, neighborhood friendships, household responsibilities, creative play, these are all free. Here's what supporting broad identity looks like. Talk about more than sports. Yes, discuss athletics, but also ask about school, friendships, interests, what they're reading, what they're thinking about. Show curiosity about the whole child. Celebrate non-sport achievements. When they do well academically, when they're kind to a sibling, when they create something interesting, these deserve recognition too. Maintain family life that doesn't revolve around their sports schedule. Family dinners, activities together that have nothing to do with athletics. Create memories that aren't all about games and tournaments. Don't make your relationship primarily about sports. If every car ride is sports analysis, if every conversation returns to performance, if your pride is most visible around athletics, they learn that's what defines them. Support interests outside sports. If they express curiosity about music, art, coding, whatever, create space for exploration. Even if it takes time away from sports, help them develop other competencies, responsibilities at home, academic challenges, social skills. These build confidence and identity in non-sport domains. Here's where parents struggle. But they love their sport. They want to focus on it. Aren't I limiting them by making them do other things? Consider this reframe. You're not limiting them, you're protecting them. The child who loves sports and has only sports faces crisis when they get injured, don't make a team, hit a plateau, or their sport ends. The child who loves sports but also has academic success, creative outlets, strong friendships, family connections, they weather those same challenges with much more resilience. Supporting broad identity isn't about diluting their athletic focus, it's about creating stability that allows them to pursue athletics from a more secure foundation. Tune in for Part 2, where we'll discuss what to do when your child resists developing identity beyond sports, and how this foundation protects them through later stages.